What's up, I'm Nosu, and today I'm going to be breaking down Brady Lund's Do You Think of Me? So we actually had two different sessions, one for the beat and one for the mixing vocal, so first we're going to jump into the beat. And in the intro we started off with a nice acoustic guitar. And this was actually recorded in Utah when we were together making this song. This was the scratch guitar, and we didn't do any other redos because we liked the tone of it. So this was basically first take. Underneath that, we have a couple background vocals that are layered. Just some ooze. As well as an ambience. Just to kind of fill out the space a little more. And then with all that together, and jumping into the pre-chorus, we have an electric guitar playing one note basically. And that went on a little bit too long for our taste, so what we did was actually added in a little strum right before the chorus hit. Here's what it sounds like. And I'm going to play it with and without effects. So here's what it was originally. Pretty boring, right? So add some EQ and this plugin called THU, which I love using on electric guitars. Sounds a lot better. And then it was a little too mid-rangey and harsh on my ears, so I put on a C4 stereo, which is basically a multi-band compressor, and then just took down the mids a bit. And now we have the chorus, so here it is all together. We started off actually with this electric guitar and then added on a bass. And then we just did octaves of that bass and electric guitar, so here's what that sounds like. And again, I'm using THU Slate for those electric guitars. And here's the preset. And then we also have these spacious ooze in there, along with the ambience. And then we have this super beefy kick. And that has a little bit of distortion on it. Then we have the hi-hats and snares. And for that, I'm just using Addictive Drums 2, which I love using for my drums. Gives a super realistic feel to it, and you can change a bunch of different things like the room size, and then all the drums together. And that's basically it for the chorus. One more really cool thing is this drum fill at the end of the chorus before verse 2. So sick. Gives it a nice break from the normal pattern to switch things up. Now for the second verse, Brady did these really cool ooze in here. He loves his ooze. And then we did an octave of that. Just pitched up. For the third layer, I actually threw on a harmonizer, which I thought is sick. Gives it a nice texture that's really subtle. And one thing I love about working with Brady is that he allows me to be super experimental and he loves it. He also gives great suggestions for things, so we just make really unique music together, and that's something that I love. And for the second part of the verse, we just have a pretty chill drum pattern that comes in. And then for the pre-chorus, we have this build-up where everything slowly comes in. Back into the chorus. And after that, it's basically the outro, and that's it. So very simple production. We wanted to keep a lot of room for the vocals and harmonies, which I'm about to show you next. Well, that's not good. We have all the stems from the other session here, which is basically just the beat and the ooze. And then up here, we have all the vocals.
How can I escape the dark when you, my light, my shooting star, disappeared without a trace? Might as well be worlds apart.
And this part's really cool because we added some harmonies, which you can't really hear too well, but you can definitely feel it. Pitch down an octave. Then we added some more harmonies.
I'm so blind, I can't find my way around without you. I can't sleep 'cause I dream too many times about you.
Now we have the chorus.
Do you still think of me?
This was a really high octave for Brady. He basically had to stretch his vocal cords to max. I don't know how he did it.
Do you still think of me?
And that's all in chest voice. Like, that's actually very impressive. And then underneath that, we layered some doubles.
Do you?
And what we did to make it fuller is we added some distortion to it. So here's the effects on those.
Do you?
And now for the harmonies. These were really fun because we just kind of went line by line and built it up from the bottom. So starting with the lowest harmony.
Do you?
And then the next one.
Do you? Do you?
And all of those together.
Do you still think of me?
Beautiful. And then with the lead.
Do you still think of me?
What I love about this is it's the really hard contrast of super distorted vocals with a really nice harmony. So you get that kind of hard and soft contrast. And then we have another layer of harmonies that come in right here, which is a higher octave.
Think of me, even after we fell apart.
Ugh, it's just a nice icing on the cake.
Even after we fell apart.
Beautiful. So then all together, here's what it sounds like.
You still think of me, even after we fell apart.
And it's the little details. You would never notice all these harmonies down here if I hadn't soloed them. But I find things like that just really bring out life in a song. Even if you can't necessarily hear them individually, they add a lot of texture in the background and a sort of feeling that you just miss without them. And for this second verse, we were building it and it was sounding really cool, but there was something missing. So Brady said to me, I want a crazy effect on it. I don't care what you do to it. It just needs to stand out and be weird. So we have what we call whack effects. And we just automate that for verse 2 and don't have it anywhere else in the song. And we actually have two channels going on here. One, we have a delay with supermassive, which is basically a reverb, a pitch shifter, and delay.
Sometimes I
Give it a super spacious feel. And then the second one, I use Multipass, which is a plugin from Kilohertz, which I love using. And it's a trance gate, so it gives it a really cool texture.
Sometimes I wonder
And if you're listening with headphones on, you can hear it bounce stereo from the left to the right.
where you are now. I gave you my all to watch it all burn down. There was a time when we wanted everything, but all the nights spent, I wasted every dream because I wanted you. I thought you wanted me too, but I was lost in the way you made me feel.
then what we did for this pre-chorus is we took out the main vocals and then only had the harmonies and doubles playing, and then once the chorus hits, the lead vocals come in.
Think of me, even after we fell apart. Memories are filled with scars. Do you think of me?
And then on the last part of the last chorus, we have these background vocals.
Do you think of me?
Basically just drowned in reverb and kind of tucked in there.
Do you think of me?
And for this song, we really wanted the choruses to punch hard, so I automated some distortion when the choruses came in.
Do you still think of me?
So what this essentially does is just glues everything together, plus it hits a lot harder.
Even after we fell apart, memories are filled with scars. Do you think of me?
And that's how Brady and I made Do You Think of Me. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. This is my first ever YouTube video, and I'll be doing a lot more of these breakdowns in the future. If you want to see more stuff like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.